We've all heard about stubborn belly fat, but there's a type of fat you can't see in the mirror, one that wraps itself around your liver, kidneys, and intestines like a suffocating blanket. It's called visceral fat, and it's far more than just stored energy. It's biologically active, pumping out inflammatory chemicals that increase your risk for diabetes and heart disease. But what happens when you finally break that cycle? When your body decides it's time to let that deep fat go? Today, we're diving into the fascinating biological journey of the Great Release. From your hormones to your heart, this is exactly what happens to your body when visceral fat begins to disappear. Part 1. The Hormonal Shift. Visceral fat isn't just sitting there, it acts like an endocrine organ. It produces proteins called cytokines, which keep your body in a state of chronic low-level inflammation. The moment you enter a caloric deficit or increase metabolic demand, the first thing that happens is a hormonal shift. Your levels of insulin, the fat storage hormone, begin to drop. Simultaneously, your body starts producing more adiponectin. This is a good hormone that actually helps your muscles use carbohydrates for energy more efficiently. Think of it as a biological green light. As inflammation drops, your brain's communication with your fat cells improves. You might notice your brain fog lifting or your mood stabilizing before you even see a change on the scale. Part 2. The shrinking organ pressure. Unlike subcutaneous fat, visceral fat puts physical pressure on your internal organs. When this fat begins to let go, your organs finally get some breathing room. The liver. Your liver is the first to benefit. Visceral fat is directly linked to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. As fat leaves the liver, its ability to detoxify your blood and manage cholesterol skyrockets. Your heart. Your heart no longer has to pump blood through a congested abdomen area. This often leads to a measurable drop in blood pressure within just a few weeks of consistent fat loss. The lungs. Surprisingly, even your breathing improves. Less pressure on the diaphragm means deeper, more efficient breaths. Part 3. The Metabolic Fire. Where the fat goes. A common question is, where does the fat actually go? It doesn't just melt or disappear. It's converted into energy through a process called beta oxidation. As your body breaks down triglycerides from your visceral stores, they enter the bloodstream as free fatty acids. They travel to your mitochondria, the powerhouses of your cells, where they are burned to create ATP, or cellular fuel. The byproduct of this fire is mostly carbon dioxide and water. You literally exhale about 84% of the fat you lose through your lungs, while the remaining 16% leaves your body as water, sweat, or urine. When visceral fat lets go, you are quite literally breathing it out. Part 4. Long-term systemic reset. After a few months of losing visceral fat, your metabolic set point begins to shift. Your body becomes much more insulin sensitive. This means your blood sugar levels stay stable and you no longer experience the crashes that lead to intense sugar cravings. Furthermore, your leptin signaling improves. Leptin is the hormone that tells your brain you're full. When you have high visceral fat, you often become leptin resistant. Your brain can't hear the signal to stop eating. As the fat leaves, the signal clears up. You'll find yourself naturally satisfied with less food. So, how do you trigger this great release? Science shows that visceral fat is actually easier to lose than subcutaneous fat because it's more metabolically active. It responds quickly to high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, to spike growth hormone, reduced refined sugars to keep insulin low, quality sleep to manage cortisol, the stress hormone that loves to store visceral fat. When visceral fat begins to let go, you aren't just losing weight, you are gaining years of life. You're reducing inflammation, freeing your organs, and resetting your biology. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the science of your health. And tell me in the comments, what's one health change you've noticed since starting your journey?